Hey, family. Lately, I've seen lots of advertisements for online counseling. Due to the pandemic and the trauma caused by the pandemic, people's nerves are frayed. And finally, in the Black community, I think more of us realize that these wonderful heart to heart chats with our loved ones might not be enough to maintain our mental and emotional wellness. Sometimes it's wise to engage a mental health professional. There's a therapist I've become aware of over the past few months. Her name is Dr. Anita Phillips. Dr. Phillips is such a beautiful advocate for mental health, and she truly is making inroads to bringing counseling to mainstream Black America. The state of the Black community is that we are still dealing with the trauma of slavery. Trauma works its way into the fabric of one's being, and if not dealt with, it passes down from generation to generation. Historically, Black people have not had access to mental health care. And truly, we have needed it most because we've been targets of violence, molestation, and oppression from day one in America. Talking to a therapist has always been a white thing to us for economic and cultural reasons. We've always had to find low cost home remedies for whatever ails us. And then when our standards of living increased, our traditions remained the same. We excel at developing low cost home remedies even when we can afford more effective professional options. Because COVID 19 has hit the Black and Brown communities the hardest medically and financially, coupled with prevailing winds of racism, our traumas are becoming more than we can bear. There's an increased emphasis on self care and more of a willingness to seek professional care. Self care is absolutely your first line of defense for wellness, whether physical, mental, or emotional. I don't include spiritual wellness under self care because my spirituality is a relationship with God. It's not about self, it's about developing my relationship with God and honoring His workmanship. His workmanship includes everything He created and is creating in my life. But my spirituality is part of my first line of defense for holistic wellness. Beyond my spirituality and self care, there is professional care, which can come from consuming content like books, blogs, videos, and webinars, but also one on one and group sessions with professionals. Diversify. That's my answer. Have many reliable go tos when it comes to operating at the top of your game. Your to go bag might include counseling, coaching, mentoring, and more. But I want you to have a good idea of which resource to draw from given your present situation and goals. We've talked a little bit about counseling already, so let's take a little time to highlight coaching. I haven't talked much about on these videos about who I am and what I do professionally, but I'm a certified master coach, certified public accountant, published author, transformational educator, and proud mom of a soon to be college graduate. This is my brilliant, tall, handsome son, Mark. He will graduate this year with a Bachelor's of Fine Art in Game Design, and I love being a success coach almost as much as I love being a mom. In my coaching sessions, my clients become clear on what joy and fulfillment look like for them. They cast off limiting beliefs that have held them back in the past, and they become the people they've always dreamt of being. I'm currently looking for people who are ready to experience new levels of success in their careers and relationships, who are tired of feeling trapped and victimized by their present set of circumstances, and who are ready to become the superheroes of their own success stories. Coaching is the platform I use to transform lives and make the world a better place. I believe that the world will not become a better place until we become better people. Furthermore, I believe that people haven't seen God because they haven't seen the real you. The genius in all of us is God's nature wrapped in flesh. When the real you shines through, it ignites faith and hope and love in me and the rest of the world. My genius is in creating atmospheres in which your greatness wants to show up and prevail against all odds. Now, I'm sure you've heard of life coaching as a profession, but if you currently don't have a coach supporting you, you might be wondering what is the difference between a life coach, a therapist, a mentor, and a consultant. Let's look at what a coach is by first discussing what it is not. A coach is not a therapist. Therapists have specialized graduate degree and clinical training to assist their clients with healing trauma, overcoming abuse, treating addictions, or mental illnesses. They are often focused on the past and present life circumstances of their clients and are properly trained on how to handle volatile mental, emotional, and behavioral issues. While therapists in general focus on the past and present, coaches focus on the future and the possibilities of what lies ahead. Coaches might use techniques borrowed from therapeutic practices, but they are careful or should at least be careful not to cross the line by diagnosing and treating clients like patients. How many of you have ever seen the comical hit television series Monk? Monk was a former police detective who became a police consultant after his wife's murder. He wanted to return to the police force, so he worked with his therapist, Dr. Charles Kroger, to overcome some of his debilitating mental and emotional issues, such as the trauma of losing his wife, depression, and a myriad of phobias. As a coach, I have specific training and experience helping people achieve their goals. But the obstacles preventing Monk from becoming a police detective were clinical in nature and beyond the scope of a life coach's skill set. In spite of his mental and emotional issues, Monk operated in his genius of solving crimes as a police consultant. Consultants evaluate the needs of their clients, make recommendations to get a particular result or solve a problem, and sometimes assist with implementing solutions. Monk upstaged the police precinct where he was hired, time and time again, by solving dozens of seemingly unsolvable crimes. And that really is the role of a consultant, to solve your problems for you. They put in the work, and you, as a client, reap the benefits of their labor. As you probably are aware, there are some problems a consultant cannot fix for you because you have to do the work. If you want to improve your marriage or any relationship, lose weight, or increase your earning potential, you must do the work required. A consultant cannot do it for you. Now, let's talk about mentors. Mentors focus on transferring new knowledge and assisting mentees with developing new capabilities. Mentoring is not a profession like counseling, consulting, and coaching. It's a voluntary commitment to share one's specialized knowledge, skills, wisdom, and experiences with someone else. When mentees seek out mentors, they are often looking for a person who is in a position like the one they aspire to occupy one day. How many of you have seen the movie Jerry Maguire? Jerry Maguire, played by Tom Cruise, was a sports agent who developed a framework for agent client relationships, which was counter to coercive, deep pocket industry standards, and he got fired for it. Jerry's mentor was Dickie Fox, an old time sports agent of the past who was uncorrupted by the frantic, heartless, contemporary lust for money and power. At pivotal points in the movie, Dickie Fox dropped pearls of wisdom and advice such as The key to this business is personal relationships. Roll with the punches. If the heart is empty, the head doesn't matter. Therapists, consultants, and mentors don't necessarily have a problem with being the star of your show, being the guiding light you just can't live without. Yet, my mission as a coach is for my clients to become the stars of their own show. I want them to become the heroes of their own success story, which means I must be very careful not to overshadow their genius by dropping excessive pearls of wisdom and professional opinions. Coaching is a unique practice because it cuts across the disciplines of therapy, consulting, training, and philosophy and requires practitioners like me to master the art of being brilliant by revealing the brilliance in others. Every challenge you will ever face is designed to reveal you as the answer. I'm not your answer. You are the answer. And it's my job to help you see what you cannot yet see and to support you in achieving your dreams. Do you have any questions about anything I covered thus far? If so, feel free to instant message me or send an email to rittman.danielle at s4uglobal.com. I'd love to hear from you. I want you to take 5 minutes to complete an inspired action step. And let me tell you, this will be a tremendous step forward for you. As a subscriber to Danielle Inspires and for Black History Month, when you complete the self assessment, you will qualify for a free 1 hour transformational coaching session with me. 2020 was a tough year for all of us, and you might be feeling a bit disoriented about how to move forward with your career, finances, relationships, or whatever. You can find the link to the survey below. Once you've completed the self assessment, I'll be in touch with you about your free 1 hour transformational coaching session. Until then, be bold, be great, and be inspired. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much for joining me today on Danielle Inspires. If you haven't done so already, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the alert bell so that you are aware of new content as it is being released. I'd love to hear from you as we take this journey together. Give me a shout out in chat and join me here next week for more inspiration to fuel your transformation on Danielle Inspires.